Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of my Business Bites series to do with the top 10 trends I've noticed in the marketplace and the business ideas that you can come up with that fall underneath them. Now this is the last part in my series, so let's get straight into it. Enjoy. Okay, now number 8 is all about bringing the outdoors in. I think the more stuff that we're replacing with digital versions, it's like we're craving things that are tangible again. So plants are having a huge moment right now. Everywhere, all over Instagram, people are turning their apartments, whether they're in the middle of the city or just in a normal place, covering them with plants. And there's even trendy plants. I mean, do you remember the fiddle leaf fig? That plant that nobody can keep alive? It's going crazy. You know, plants, doing this is not just for aesthetics though, it's for health reasons as well. It improves the air quality, and also taking care of a plant is kind of like taking care of a pet, so it reduces anxiety. Now in terms of growth in this space, well, there is a lot, I think. In terms of technology, I think that you'll see more and more apps popping up that can help diagnose why your plants are dying, because that is half of the problem. You know, you buy all these plants but then half of them die. Did you water them too much? Are they getting enough sun? Too much sun? You know, do they just not like you? What is it? I think that apps will grow in this space around that. In terms of automation, I've seen some stuff about Google Home integrating with an irrigation system, so you can make sure that Google automatically waters all of your plants.
Hey Google, pamper my plants. The shade's open to let in sunlight. The nest sets the perfect temperature. Turntables rotate our plants for even sunlight exposure. Our humidifier turns on, and our watering system. Our grow light turns on, and our Google Home Mini plays Jungle Paradise sounds.
I definitely think there's been more disruption in terms of where we buy plants from. So traditionally, you know, you pop down to one of the bigger kind of homewares. I mean, in Australia it's called Bunnings. I don't know what the other ones are in America, but there's like a huge hardware shop and they've got a plant section and, you know, home renovation section and things like that. I think we'll see more places niching down into serving plants, kind of more millennial hipster, where there's a cafe and it's super Instagrammy and they do plant caring workshops and, you know, make your own pottery for your plants and this kind of stuff. I think it will become more niched down. There's obviously then, based on that, room for people who can make plant related items, custom made pots and, you know, this kind of thing, deliver plants in terms of anniversary gifts, or, you know, specifically, rather than being a florist, it's like an actual live plant automated delivery service, which could be on a subscription. There's definitely room to grow in this space. In terms of service providers as well, I think we'll see people offering plant care services. So if you're going on holiday, someone can come in and take care of your plants, or take them to their house to look after them as well. So there's a few different categories that you can approach this from. Okay, so number 9, we're almost there guys. Number 9 is having a guru for everything. Like, I don't know if it's me, but I feel like you can pretty much find an expert to help you in kind of like every section of your life. You know, we've got the Gary V's and we've got the Tony Robbins, who doesn't want you to call him a guru, but he is kind of a guru. Life coaching, business mentoring. There seems to be someone that you can call into your life to help with pretty much everything. You know, people have personal astrologists. I can't judge. I actually have a personal psychic. Shout out to Fotini, she's great. She reads my cards, reads my Greek coffee cup, removes the evil eye, you know, this kind of stuff. And, you know, I don't know if it's because, you know, if we hark back to where I mentioned about being isolated or lonely, I think we just need guidance. You know, we make between, like, I think it's like 35,000 decisions in our conscious mind every single day, and decision making at times is crippling and exhausting. And I know, even now for me, I know that I wish I had somebody who could step into my life and be, you know, a business mentor, a therapist, someone to kick my butt, someone to give me cuddles, and, you know, and who's not, you know, my husband or a friend, someone who's unbiased and won't feel like I'm burdening them with this emotion. Because, you know, let's be honest, everybody has problems, and if we're always constantly unloading these problems onto our partners or to our friends, then, you know, we can become kind of emotionally draining. So I think that there's definitely a space to have these people in our lives. Now, I do want to say this with a lot of emphasis, because yes, there are life coaches and wellness coaches and nutritional coaches, and these people, there is money to be made in this industry, but please, for the love of God, if you are not an expert in this industry, if you really don't know jack about it, then don't just see this as a money-making opportunity and suddenly become a life coach because, you know, people are making money. And I just think that it's really important that there is credibility in the service that you're offering, and it needs to be done from the right place, not from the place of money.
After years of disappointment with get-rich-quick schemes, I know I'm gonna get rich with this scheme, and quick.
I will also tell you that everybody knows, like the public are waking up to this. If you're a snake oil salesman, wow, that's hard to say, snake oil salesman, then just forget it. Please just forget it, because not only are you ruining the industry for the people who are actually giving value, you just look stupid, okay? Now that I've said that piece, there are things that can be shared, and I think YouTube is the perfect example of that, where people just share stuff that they know and that they're good at. Even like back to the online education space, if you have something to offer and someone needs it, then why not? As long as you're doing it ethically and with love. Okay, we are at the final one, number 10. I hope that your notebooks have been filled with lots of chicken scratch notes about ideas that you're having and that you're all sparky and energized. So let's quickly get into the very, very last one. It is unique wanderlust. Now, I mean, okay, I pretty much don't know anybody who hasn't traveled overseas, especially if I'm looking and talking about my friends in Australia. Everybody's been to Europe, everybody's been to Italy, everybody's been to Greece. You know, it's pretty uncommon now with the access that we have to travel to find someone who hasn't ever been overseas. Now, what this means is that we're all going to the same places and we're all getting the same Instagram photos, and, you know, maybe we don't feel special anymore. And so we're seeing this increase now of people wanting to travel but have unique travel experiences, and to travel and learn and live like a local. So actually Expedia recently did a study and found that 70% of travelers actually look to other people for inspiration before even deciding on what location to go. So we're talking about Instagram influencers and bloggers and TV shows, and they're looking for ideas of where to go. And also inside of the top 3 considerations that people make when booking a trip are bucket list things like once in a lifetime experiences, living like a local, and being immersed in culture. Now, the number 1 was within budget friendly. So, I mean, obviously budget is important and it will always be important, but I found it interesting that these 2 things, you know, experiencing something unique and being immersed in local culture, really seem true to what we're saying about these trends. So what are the business opportunities within this travel space? Well, obviously boutique tours that allow people to join and actually experience life as a local. In fact, I did this exact thing when we were living in Venice last year. I used to run Venice food tours because I was lucky enough to experience Venice as a local and learn all the good places where all the Venetians go. And so I used to do food tours with people, which was so fun. It was amazing. And even as Pep and I travel, we really do like to get immersed in local culture because, well, for one, I don't like being ripped off. And I think a lot of the tourist places really do kind of rip you off a little bit. So I think there's definitely a lot of room to grow in that terms of guidance. I think you'll also see whole travel experiences built around going to places that are unique and that are off the beaten track. I also think that you'll see a bigger increase in hotel and accommodation offering services that are unique. You know, we've seen things like you can sleep in an igloo, you can sleep in like a hanging room inside of a tree. I think, and even glamping, you know, we have a nice tent but it's all fancy. These sorts of experiences experiences will continue to grow. And definitely also kind of sidestepping from that, I think luxury travel will grow as well. And I think we'll start to see more and more people have access to private jets, living that, you know, high flying champagne lifestyle. I think that's obviously going to increase too, especially if millennials aren't buying houses and they don't buy avocado toast for a few weeks. They'll be able to, you know, fly in a private jet. I think food travel as well will continue to increase, and this is something that's been popular for quite a while now because people love taking photos of food to put on their Instagram. In terms of food travel, I think even Pep and I, we like to go to Michelin star restaurants, not to necessarily put it on Instagram, but to experience the culture and the art that is behind it. So food travel is still going to be a really big one. I think the transport industry will actually experience more disruption in this space because more competition means more people can travel, more airlines offering different services. So I'd say it won't be long before we start to see perhaps a class of travel which is sub-economy, even cheaper than economy, which I don't really, to me that doesn't sound very appealing, but it will help travelers obviously get to more places for a better price. Speaking about price, actually a few years ago I met with a company called Layaway Travel. They're based in Sydney, and what they offer are packages that you can buy and pay off your holiday before you travel. So this is something that's really good for families. If you know you want to go on a huge European trip or a huge American trip, you can purchase the package at the beginning of the year and break up the cost across installments, and then you've paid off your holiday before you've even gone, which makes travel much more accessible to everyday families as well. Now I think we can also look at the corporate service industry through this trend as well. I come from an insurance banking background, so for me, I think that there are definitely improvements to be made in terms of travel insurance. People are seeking out adventures, they're looking to cross things off their bucket list, so more and more people are doing things like bungee jumping and skydiving and adrenaline sports and ATV and jet skis and this kind of stuff. And under a lot of insurance policies to do with travel insurance, these things are excluded because of the liability risk. I get it, but I think that, you know, we can disperse this risk a little bit better, we can charge premiums a little bit more accurately, and maybe put a higher excess on so that you don't have to pay so much to have this type of cover. If I'm talking as a digital nomad, I don't classify myself as a digital nomad, but I move around a lot, and this is one thing that across this whole collective group of people, it's a problem. Health insurance is really kind of hard to nail down when you're moving across so many different places. Some companies cover some continents and countries, other ones don't, so it's hard to stick to one policy across all of your travels. If we can push on from insurance to banking, I think banking is one of the most frustrating things about international travel, and there is nobody doing it right. Like, I'm sorry, there is not one single bank in the world that I've come across that is doing banking in a way that supports international travelers. Nobody. Nothing. Like, it's either stupidly high conversion fees, you can't hold multi-currencies. I mean, with HSBC you can have multi-currencies, but they do have fees. It's just, everything seems complicated. You're either good at one thing and you're bad at all of the others. Now, I would really love to see someone step into that space, create a bank that is a global bank that has no problems crossing all the different boundaries and is able to easily and seamlessly receive money, send money, make transactions within a store, and if I get defrauded, then they're able to swoop in and, you know, get that fixed sorted quickly, and is able to send me replacement cards wherever I am in the world. You know, these little things that are just incredibly complicated. It needs to be fixed. Someone needs to step up and fix this. And if I'm harking on about banking, well, let's talk about telecommunications and let's talk about global Wi-Fi. Now, this is a topic that always comes up as well. Is there a good service provider that I can use globally that can offer me really good Wi-Fi coverage and also use with my phone? No, there's nobody. There is not one provider in the world who is able to offer you high amount of gig that you can use as a Wi-Fi and stream Netflix and do your job. I'm talking, you know, 80, 100 gig a month with reliable service for a reasonable monthly fee. I mean, come on, anything anything over $60 is ridiculous. Like, no. And have a mobile service. It's just doesn't exist. You know, you get these little portable Wi-Fi devices where either they've got really crappy coverage or they don't give you enough gig or they're just stupidly expensive. And I get it, these things cost money, but somebody needs to come in and fix it because it's not working. With this globalization, international, everyone's coming and going, like, we need to fix this. This area needs work, it needs work. Well, that's it. They are my business ideas within the top 10 themes that I see for 2019 to 2020. I really hope that you got something out of it and that you're all pumped and ready to go to start your own business. If you did like it, like the video. If you want to see more Business Bites videos, then please hit subscribe. I would really love to have you around. Now, for this week's Business Bite question, it is, what is holding you back from starting your own business? Now, are you afraid? Do you not have enough money? Are you unsure of the feasibility of your idea? Do you not know how to make money from your idea? I absolutely love working with people to discuss business opportunities and help them know how they can get out there and grab a slice of the business pie. So please leave them in the comment section below. I would love to make another video about this. Actually, I even have more business ideas based on more trends. So if you want to see another video in this category, I'm talking way too fast, like, woo. If you want to see another video in this category, please let me know and I'd be more than happy to make one. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you in the next one. Bye.